WGL September Open Qualifier, round of 32, Group B, Winnerbracket Quarterfinal. The first game of the September race is on, and that's the second last one. We're more than halfway through already, with the ladder points being awarded for September. So stakes are rising, and our two players here in the Open Division that start this tournament are Lucifer and ORC, both not in the best spot so far. Lucifer has pretty much no chance anymore to qualify for the tournament. ORC, though, in punching distance. So let's see what we are getting here. Best of three. ORC in the bottom left. A young talent. I think he's around 20 years old only. We don't know his birthday. We just know his birth year. So yeah, one of the prospects from China. And we start on Northern Isles. Undead versus ORC.
Looking pretty standard here so far. Lucifer or Michael going with the Ted Fiend build, as is the norm. We were for a short period talking about scandals earlier, Neo. Have you seen what Happy wrote on VK?
That the Orc versus Undead matchup is imbalanced?
It's a complete joke. It's bullshit. Oh, that's gonna fuel the furnaces of the old school believers.
I think we gotta... We can't say that we both heavily disagree.
I certainly disagree.
Yeah, me too. And I think... yeah, a lot of people disagree, but... Maybe it's just a mental thing for Happy that haunts him for many years. He just can't get rid of it, like an old ex-girlfriend that you can't get over. Just in a negative, even like in a different way.
Yeah, especially in his games against Fly, I find it pretty cowardly. That's not the wrong word. I find it pretty brazen that after those games he comes out with a statement like that, because he made big mistakes in that series, which he kind of did admit, saying that he didn't play very well. But yeah, well. Anyways, that was his view on the matter. ORC. Looking forward to seeing him play again. He's been impressing us pretty much quite a lot at the last WCG qualifier for China. Didn't make it through, didn't overcome the strong opposition, but did look pretty good there, especially in the late game. Oh my god, Lucifer with a 4-unit surround on the grunt though. That's also looking really good. Late Master tries to come in with a speed scroll, popping out his buddy with the windwalk. That doesn't work though, and the grunt does fall. Costs Lucifer a lot of mana and health, but that's a big kill. Yeah. You know, the first grunt. It's not supposed to happen.
It's absolutely correct. Remo, and therefore the Death Knight jumping on almost to level 2, needs one creep. Nice to see the skeletons being used like this, and nice to see Lucifer pulling off these 4 units around. He doesn't strike me as one of the top undeads at the moment. I don't expect these moves from him currently. Still struggling a little for quite some time now, but we've seen with Fly that you can be in a slump for 2 years and all of a sudden you have a breakout performance and you stand in the final of a big tournament again if you put in the works and everything is working for you. We have the first subs of the day. Thank you Fixie Heart for 7 months and Gunbai for your prime.
Gunbai.
Gunbai. Oppa Gunbai style.
That's the Chinese cheers. Gangbei. Not quite the same though. DK's gonna get level 2 here. What's the Blade Master doing in the meantime? He finally has a grunt buddy to continue creeping with. Wait, this is exactly level 2. This is gonna be 200 out of 200.
Sick.
It's like perfectly lined up. Look at this. Wait, why does he have more experience? Ah, he's tier 2.
He's a little bonus experience. He's waiting for that maybe. To creep.
But it would have been tier 2 even without. That's pretty cool. Oh, I didn't know that. I have to write that build down for my off-race orc plane. Yeah.
Is it a good build, you think? I mean, you're all about builds and openings, so...
I mean, ideally you want to try not to lose the grunt, but other than that, not bad.
Lucifer is getting his revenge, though, but ORC is in. Smart play by Lucifer to use the coil here. Gets the crystal ball for a little bit of reveal. So we can check the tech timings and scout for the Blade Master, of course. 2 fiends out. Gotta be a little careful once this boy stepping out of the altar. Tier 3 on the way for ORC. Same for Lucifer, who's getting a Lich. Slaughterhouse pretty standard thus far.
It is the 4 ghoul play, by the way, which you guys may know I'm not a very big fan of. Makes it so you're very low on fiends for a very long time. Low map impact, low creep speed. In Lucifer's main, dude, is it just me? Or is it triggering anyone else where the ghouls are harvesting lumber? Like,
It's not perfect.
A little bit further away and they can be harvesting lumber at the natural, dude. Like, what is this?
Speaking of triggering, Remo, 4 ghouls, sacrificial pit.
Yeah, I know.
Big fan. Big fan.
But if it, nowadays this style doesn't necessarily have to be Dreadlord Destroyer push anymore, and we have seen it more transitionally being played by WFZ with, I think it was a Pit Lord, and I think it was a expansion on tier 3, which I like much more. But we'll see what kind of style Lucifer goes for. Lucifer is usually pretty fond of expansion play, more so than many other undeads are. But it doesn't necessarily mean he has to go for this. And why I don't like this, ghoul shade play so much is because you're so low on fiends for so long, still only 2 on the field. But Lucifer still finds a nice timing here to go towards a creep jack. As it turns out, Ice Orc, he only has 2 grunts himself. So he went for the Book of the Dead here to help with the creeping. I think he got the last hit as well with the Hex denying the coil there coming in by Lucy. But Lucifer, all things considered, this game is going pretty well for him. He was so weak on the map for a long time, but he still gets level 3 here pretty quickly. And is getting closer to level 2 Tip Lich as well.
We see from Ice Orc a thing that he might have picked up from Fly, that is the early Wyvern. And you can see it here, 40 average damage. Very good for creeping, as we pointed out, was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday in the cast of Happy vs. Fly. Forces Web, which Lucifer doesn't have yet. So this one Wyvern has a pretty big impact on the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I really like this choice. Mass Windriders is super hit or miss. When the undead have good micro to control against it, just web hard counters it extremely hard, and they're too expensive to lose so easily. But if there's only one Windrider, as you said correctly, it helps with the creeping a lot, and if it forces web, that's already a lot of resources that it's making up for, basically. Middle going to the undead here is very unusual. Normally the orc will always try to claim this with Blade Master damage and early tier 2 presence with a Shadow Hunter, speed scrolls and so on. Normally the orc will try to go for the middle, but Ice Orc gave that freely away to the opposition, where what iron did he get? It's only dropping now. The Flute of Accuracy, one of the best.
Yep, we like to play our flutes. We have a Temple of the Damned coming. Tier 3 is done, so Curse is gonna hit the Blade Master right in a bit. Level 2 for the Lich is unlocked as well with the Claws, just needs the Orb, and then he's fine. Kodo is coming for Ice Orc as the TC stepped outside already. We have an Orb of Lightning, good damage on the Blade. Scroll of the Beast, still available as well. And I love what Ice Orc is doing with the illusions constantly. He has so much vision and constantly keeps track of Lucifer's movements, so he knows that the undead is on the other side of the map and invests the time for the red spot, which is a good usage, I guess. Dark Ranger third for the Korean.
Not going the happy style, not going double damage mitigation, but rather the Dark Ranger here. Can be a little bit easier to micro once you have the silence available. You don't have to split so hard against the TC, and she also gets really strong with higher levels. Both are certainly a viable option, in my opinion. Ice Orc, the thing that stands out so far from him is he's playing really passively, isn't he? Like, he's not looking for an aggressive push once. He's just creeping, trying to get his levels up. After the red camp, the ancient Django, well, that's
unfortunate.
A little redundant, so he's going to be selling this one. But he wants a level 2 TC. Fighting before level 2 TC always feels a little bit weird. So we're still splitting up the map and waiting for the first big fight of the game.
We have a Shade here, so he sees the Blade Master coming. Shouldn't be a steal on the Magnetar Reba. Blade Master runs away immediately. That gives the second laboratory to the Orc. And yeah, pretty much no aggression, no early hex ambushes or anything. It feels like he prioritizes a level 3 TC very highly.
Pattern of Energy for him also really nice. DK with the Cloak of Flames could be helpful if you find the backline of Berserkers. Maybe it becomes valuable, but
On a pit load it would have been good. But
when the DK gets Death Pact on 4, he's also really tanky, if he does decide to go for that. But here we go, this might be the first big fight coming in. Ice Orc looking for the Creep Jack. Statue is normally the first priority to take out, but reconsiders, falls back. There's still a little bit more healing to be done. Repositioning by Lucifer, and in we go. Speed Scroll popped with the first couple of crits coming out. Also the Scroll of the Beast. Plenty more damage now on the Orc side. Didn't actually hit the Blade Master though. First kill goes to Ice Orc. Second one as well. One Fiend down, one Banshee down. Stomp hitting decently well. Lucifer is kiting back, Coil's coming in aggressively actually against the TC. He has the invul, has to use it. With that survive. Stomp coming in, another kill for Lucifer. For Ice Orc, excuse me, I think 3 for 1 so far, and the statue going down as well. But the Shadow Hunter, this kill, finding it could certainly turn things around as the second hero, excuse me, dies. The TC, that's the third hero, also in trouble. Burrow coming in, no detection here in Ice Orc, as it so often is for Orcs with a great start to the fight. But now, the longer it's going, the worse it's becoming. Blade Master has to run away from here. Shade is here, giving detection, has to be careful. And now, with the TC far away, this army is so slow, especially the Kodo. Should be an easy pick-off. The Lich has the Nova, the DK's got the Coil, going for the Berserker. Don't know if that was the better choice, so the Kodo gets away, and Ice Orc with, at the end of the day, kind of an even exchange. It's hard to tell.
I think Lucifer got the upper hand a little, but this could have been way worse for Ice Orc with a TC kill or a Kodo kill. But Lucifer, smart as he is, expanding behind it. He's the first of the 2 players who start to look for another source of income. Usually it's always the Orc, so this kind of forces Ice Orc into either a push or a counter expansion. So I don't see him with a tiny Great Hall. Oh, Invo Potion, big pickup here. The Shop of Shade is still there. Coil Nova, 24, can he reach? Oh, Invo Potion on the Black Arrow. That could have been the kill right there. So, okay, got that item, used it immediately. Love the skeleton by Lucifer, by the way, at the expansion, because he knows it's time for a Great Hall. It should be time for a Great Hall. But he has the vision there. Walker or Walkers in general coming. He doesn't have the Adept upgrade yet, so at the moment it's only Spirit Link. No Destroyers coming. It's either, it's rather Abominations and the Master Training for the Banshees.
Ice Orc has a lot of gold over here. He could go for that tiny right now. Easily could go for it. Still would have 200 gold to spare. He's waiting for the shadow to come out though. He needs some clarities as well, I guess. So he's got 3 clarities in the inventory. Alright. And is not going for the tiny.
Interesting. Still 700 gold to use. Does he have upgrades or anything? 0-0. Oh. What's he using this gold for? He's waiting for the Adept upgrade. And now breaking upkeep. With more Berserkers and Raiders. This allows Lucifer to...
Very good now for Lucifer. He's getting his upgrades going. 2 on the Fiends. Master Training about to finish. Hero levels are looking good. Dark Ranger is about to be level 3. Lich is getting closer to 4. That's another big power spike for the Undead. TC did get level 3. But normally TC level 3 is super strong in the most meta games of today of this matchup. But that involves a Pit Lord. But we do have a TC answer, which is the Dark Ranger. So it's not going to be that easy for him. Also with the Dark Ranger Silence coming in against the Shadow Hunter. Denying healing. Hero kills are always a danger. Something that is also much more easy to deal with if there's a Pit Lord on the other side. Alright, Ice Orc. He's moving out close to 60 supply. He has an expansion coming up in the back, but he'll be fighting on Blight now.
And against the Nerubian Tower. It's not going to be too easy. Abomination is out, aiming for that DK right away to try to force a TP. Oh, stomps through the silence with an Invo Potion. And yeah, reposition for Lucifer. Everything will be cramped up. Maybe a chance for another big stomp. That burrow didn't work. But the distraction of Ice Orc does. Kodo Beast didn't get to eat. No level 4 Blade Master. That's the only weak spot Ice Orc has at the moment. Maybe lack of Invo Potions as well. But with that positioning, he has top control now. Oh, Lucifer sending out the ghouls. And I guess I know where they're heading.
Yeah. Nice counterattack play here by Lucifer, putting pressure on the other side of the map. Close to 80 supply now is the Korean Undead. And in that situation just a moment ago, you could see what the weakness of level 2 aura is. I mean, of course, I get that it's good for the rest of the army if you get the aura level 2. I understand that, but Death Pact is just such a safety card for the DK. I think not going for it most of the time will be a mistake, but here we go. Next fight erupting. Ice Orc with about almost a 20 supply disadvantage, going for the Destroyer right away. Lots of piercing damage coming in against it. It was healed up by the Dispel and the Coil, but not quite good enough. Destroyer does fall, but this army here for the Orc still isn't too big. Nice stomp though in the back. TC finds the connection after the silence wore off, I believe.
Possession on the Kodo Beast. There's extra damage now on the Fiends, plus 11. And there's no way for Ice Orc to face this. Possession can't be, or could be used once more, I guess. Curse again everywhere. There's one Kodo, 8 in Abomination, Epicenter Storm, but the TC is under pressure. Heavy fire on the Milk Cow. Oh, the Blade Master needs a potion. Nope. Ice Orc just taps out. Expo didn't work. Possession on a Kodo. Nice play by Lucifer, pulling a lot of right strings and having good timings.
Yeah, absolutely. Super solid play. Started off well for him with that grunt kill in the early game. It's not a game-deciding move, but it matters. Like when you go this tier 3 rush with fast TC, fast Shadow, only with the Bestiary, you really need those 3 grunts out early on tier 2 to be able to creep solidly with the Shadow Hunter solo. If one dies, that isn't really possible. And just from that point, Lucifer playing, yeah, really solid. I'm kind of impressed, I have to say.
Yeah, that was good. I didn't see any mistakes, which Lucifer kind of tends to do if he's not in, I don't know, a good mood or whatever you want to call it. He has these days where just things are really, really sloppy. I think I want to put it that way. Not today here. Very solid.
Yeah, and super passive play by Ice Orc. Wonder if that is the way to go. I mean, it's kind of the matchup nowadays, and you don't have to speed scroll, like double speed scroll level 1 Shadowhunter, rush down the undead, try to kill fiends, but I would like to see more aggressive creeping. Like, he gave up the middle basically entirely, not the way it's exactly supposed to go, but again, a lot of that came back to the grunt loss, which does make things more difficult. We're gonna have next game starting here in about a minute or so.
We do have some results, Remo.
Oh, what's the results?
Mango leads against 14 Sway. My boy, looking strong today. Hawk is leading against Suns. Linguagua is leading against Bike. Sini leads against Hurricane Bow. And that's all we know so far. Oh, Sini just advanced to the next round. Hurricane Bow in the lowest bracket. But yeah, man, my talent squad is in full force today.
Good job, Neo.
I didn't do anything.
But you pointed out the right players. That's
correct. So far, for the first map, if there would be some sort of fantasy football thing for Warcraft 3, that would have been a lot of cheap points for me.
All right, since you're so good at knowing who's good, who's gonna be top 2 in Group B, Neo?
Group B is our group.
Yeah.
There is Linguagua, Bike, Fast, Michael, Ice Orc, Lucifer, Mango, and 14 Sway. So, there's absolutely... Oh, wait a second. Does Linguagua know how Michael plays or not is the question. I was very impressed with his matchup against Orc, so I can definitely see him winning the group from the top side. It could be a battle of the brothers in the winners finals, actually. Huh.
I'm gonna say Lucifer. I got a good feeling here for Lucifer. He's gonna make it.
All right. I say Rojin Wook, aka
Rojin
Michael,
Wook.
aka Thunder. It's becoming
We have
ridiculous.
the next game, ladies and gents.
And from the lower bracket... It's so tough. This group is pretty stacked. From the lower bracket, I say Linguagua. Even though I wasn't too impressed with him recently. Just have high hopes.
Alrighty. We'll see how it goes. Map 2, concealed. Same openings here by both our players, Ted Fiends for Lucifer and Iceorg with a standard Blade Master start. 1 borrow tech most likely. And we'll be trying not to lose that grunt in the early game. This map, creep-wise, can be considered a little bit better, I guess, than Northern Isles for Orc. You can snipe items pretty well, especially the Ogre Lord, of course. Lab is pretty easy. Gold mine's pretty easy. As long as you don't lose those grunts.
Yeah, so let's not lose them. Creeping first. Lucifer saw this. Deathmatch creep as well. Why is he getting the skeletons there? Whatever. So yeah, it's a Ted Fiend build, as you can see here. Acolyte scouting, or coming back from the scout. Blade Master lost a lot of HP already. But that's alright. For the circlet, that's a trade we want to get. Ring of Protection against the Blade Master, also decent. Can tank a little more with the DK that way.
Yeah, and gets level 1.8 or whatever it is from this camp. Blade Master looking to steal some last hits, goes for the circle here as well. Second borrow is on the way. Grunt coming in. So pretty aggressive positioning once again here with the Blade Master. Along with the first grunt. And actually get something for his trouble as well. Gonna get the Ziggurat cancel. Early though, so not many resources lost. And not looking to level up this Blade Master at all so far. His priority is slowing down the DK. Interesting.
Yeah, if you can prevent aura, that's really big. It's super hard though. And you can power creep later, I guess, with the Lord in the middle that you can manipulate with hacks. You should also get one of the red spots at least. So that's big experience. I can see why he does that. But oh, Lucifer not going for the crabs. Where's he heading? To the north? To steal the turtles? That's a lot of time invested.
Yeah, this looks like really inefficient movement. Like his priority is here to not be found, which is going to be successful. But he kills the turtle, that's level 2 for him, and a small item, okay. But it's also, he bought no Rods of Necromancy. So once these skeletons are done, he can't creep anything anymore. So after going all the way north, he has to go all the way south for new rods. Like this is looking really inefficient.
On the other side, the Blade Master creeps this turtle alone, stealing some experience for the ledge. Couldn't he just go for the green spot in the bottom right? Wouldn't that be better? I mean, no one scouts there as well.
I mean, Lucifer could just stay next to his main. Like, he would have gotten level 2 there as well. Yeah. Maybe he has to invest a coil to get the turtle, but he will get the turtle. He got the whole green camp, though, so he's level 2 point something. Skeletons scout the main as well, but yeah, look at the DK. He's running all the way south again. He's taking a long trip across concealed.
Well, you know, sometimes you just have to take some time off, you know. Just take a walk, go to a forest, enjoy nature a little. There's some beautiful nature here in Concealed Hills. So.
Yeah, you do that a lot near, don't you?
Absolutely. All the forests in Hamburg, man, I know them inside out.
Yeah, this can be a problem if you waste so much time, in quotes, running across the map, but only if your opponent is creeping heavily and you fall behind. But that wasn't the case. Iceorg himself was creeping very little, and the grunts were running around for the most part, so this inefficient trip across the map isn't actually costing Lucifer too much. We have the Lich coming out now on tier 2. Tier 3 being rushed after, I imagine. We see the same thing for Iceorg as we saw previous. Shadow, Bestiary, tier 3. And more aggressive play though by him this time. I like this. He's playing more aggressively here on the creeps. He's going to steal the Ogre Magi away from the opponent. And with the Orc having speed scroll always early, you're basically never at a risk of losing anything unless some insane skeleton block comes or something.
Yeah, this feels like he identified his mistakes in game 1 pretty early, or pretty fast, and maybe it's a map thing as well, but he plays in a way that he didn't play on map 1, identified the mistake and tries to change that on, of course, some cost of the Blade Master progress. I'm not sure if he got the last hit here.
I was close, but I think he got it. I think he was lower experience before. A little sloppy by Lucifer, not investing a dust, not investing a coil, with full mana especially. And level 4 creep, that is a bit of experience. Getting the blade closer to level 3. Does Lucifer really want to go for the Ogre Lord with the Blade Master right next to him? With 2 fiends?
Looks like it.
That would be pretty
Maybe he
insane.
wanted to contest it. He thought that the Shadowhunter is there, but there was no scout, I think.
This creep route by Lucifer is really weird. He goes to the Merchant, only gets the single Trapper, then follows the Blade Master around, running to the next creep camp, green camp. Yeah, I think there's a lot to be improved here on Lucifer's movement across the map in Game 2.
Yeah, but he's getting level 3, kind of, and now he's giving ISORC too much time, so the Ogre Lord is trapped at the tavern, not sent to his own base. The shop is already crept, so Lucifer can't do anything there. We have another Wyvern to speed this up. And a level 2 Shadowhunter already. Biggest item on the map is...
Ho!
a good one.
Gas pipe, there we go. No casters just yet to make use of this, but for the Shadow and the TC this is amazing, and for the Blade it's also pretty good. Lucifer creeping up the Orc Natural, level 3 DK there. Item. What is it? Claws plus 9, oh. Hey,
Yep.
yeah.
That was a good one. Dragon follows the Shadowhunter for quite some time. Wyvern and Shadowhunter can attack him. He's out of healing. And Lucifer is far away, so this is the second red spot for ISORC. And Lucifer again with a Shade build. This time he gets Web earlier, but therefore the Temple is a little delayed.
Yeah, this is typically the play on Concealed. You want to get that web because you at least want to get one Drake. Big experience from that one and a big item. No orb just yet, so Lucifer's forces not creeping that fast. But it is level 2 for the Lich here. 1 of Mana Steel. What did ISORC get? Level 3 and the Flute!
Nice.
Not very good right now, but the later this game goes, the more Headhunters we're gonna have. So this is gonna have value.
Yeah. Question chat, Remo. So, aren't humans and Night Elves as good as these other 2 factions, or do the player just decide to pick these 2 because they are more comfortable with them?
Forces are under attack.
What? I don't think I understand the question.
The question is pretty much, is the balance okay, and why do players choose a race?
And I think I've never heard that question before quite in that fashion. But yeah, the thing is, almost everyone has a certain race identity. Normally you choose a race and that is your race. There is exception to this rule. There are players who can play multiple races on a high level, perhaps even on the same level, but that is definitely the exception. Most players have one certain race, and even if one race is better in a certain matchup than another, the difference of quality of play that you can provide with your main race compared to your off race is so significant that most of the time it's a pretty bad idea to switch races.
So we mask for the Death Knight. Nice inventory for Lucifer thus far. Temple coming in now for the Curse. We have an early Totem for ISORC. Again, staying in no upkeep without an expansion for quite some time.
Kind of similar to the previous map here. We're not really fighting before the map is almost entirely crept. TC will be getting level 2 from this camp. This is important. Lucifer also really wants level 2 on the Dark Ranger, but doesn't have that yet. Would like level 3 Lich as well, to which he's close, but doesn't have that. DK, for my taste, soaked like a little bit too much experience. And now again, it's creeping this little green camp with all 3 heroes. If he solo creeps that with the Dark Ranger, that is his level 2. Again, a little bit sloppy by Lucifer. This really shouldn't be looking like that.
So no level 3 Lich. Missing that one as well. The map is almost empty. We don't have too much to fight over. And Lucifer again taking the time and the resources before breaking upkeep to go for that expansion. Shade sees the army. Fiend is following. Dark Ranger a little far forward as well. Kinda lucky to not get ensnared with anything there. But ISORC this time goes for the expansion at the same time. So prepare for a longer late game.
This is still juicy experience here in the middle, even if there's no more items to be found. So this will be contested TC running in, looking for the Stomp, calling over right away, but there's the heal wave. This Dark Ranger, not level 2, as we mentioned earlier, doesn't have the silence. First Fiend dies right away, the next one gets eaten up by the Kodo. So once again, 2-for-1 trade with the Grunt dying. Destroyer in the air, getting ensnared, getting focused, but not too much piercing damage just yet. Hard to take that one out, actually. Speed scroll number 2 coming in here for Ice Orc. Can't save the Raider, though. It's trying really hard to go for this Destroyer. I don't know why he's putting so much emphasis on killing the Destroyer. It's not like it does that much, but okay, he gets it in the end after having taken a few losses. Dark Ranger now with the silence on the Shadowhunter, going for the focus on him, but gets away, just barely. Another Raider will fall. Kodo Beast getting focused next. This would, of course, return the Fiend. This is one of the better kills that Lucifer can hope for, but the Kodo gets away. Blade Master threatening the statue again, but Ice Orc has to run away and lick his wounds, as this trade was in favor of the undead.
Absolutely. Who's now breaking upkeep, and his expo is done. And if he sends the scout out to the upper left, he can still pretty much easily punish this expansion. Maybe even with ghouls again. Not sure if he has the lumber for all the necessary upgrades, as he's breaking quite early.
Alright, now DKs 4, Liches 3, Dark Rangers 2. This is looking good. Once again, DK without Death Pact, which I have a tough time seeing being the right call, but more importantly, he's got the expansion. It's going to start mining here very soon. This is kind of the most popular way to play under tier 3 nowadays. Get your tech rolling, go 50 supply, and then expand. First, I believe, introduced by Happy, and now very popular among many players. And it looks like Ice Orc never really sees this coming. Like, again, he hasn't even scouted for this. Now he does with the Blade Master, but this is 2 minutes late.
But if his expo comes up, it's gonna be a lot cheaper, and now pretty much unpunishable. Needs maybe a tower and a burrow, but he's building a shop right next to it. Lucifer in the last game fortified it a lot with towers and stuff, and also a necropolis. This is all very expensive. Looking forward to this late game. Both players are pretty much prepped for what's to come. All the big upgrades are researched, I think. Yeah.
Now, Ice Orc needs to go heavy into Berserkers here. He's way too low. Super late game. What you want is lots of Berserkers, couple of Walkers, couple of Kodos, and barely any melee units, actually. 2, maybe 3 Raiders, but that's it. TC is level 3. That's a really big deal. Ice Orc did a good job solo creeping his third hero with a few remaining creeps on the map. And that makes it so that his hero levels are definitely better by a little bit than Lucifer's.
Okay, Lucifer sees the expansion now. It's a little late. Reinforced defenses is done as well, so these burrows won't melt against the attacks. 60 supply, another Wyvern for more piercing damage. And we don't have any upgrades on the Banshee, so no possession possible this time.
And Lucifer going double A-bomb. That's pretty unusual to see. Not that heavy on the Fiends just yet. He's got 4. 5th one coming. 1-0 upgrades on them only. If the double Kodos get eaten by... if the double A-bombs get eaten by the Kodos and Ice Orc can save them, this could be a good opening for the Orc to the fight. But he's down by 10 supply. It's gonna be a little bit tough.
Spirit Lodge now, interesting. No tower to help in the defense. 62 supply. How much is stuck in production? Not too much, actually. TC with a potion, trying to get this big angle for the Stomp. There we go. Kodo is standing right next to an Abomination. Needs to eat, sends it back, though. A little mistake by Ice Orc with the repositioning here. Taking out the Wyvern rather quickly. Blade Master's doing good damage. Again, nuking the Destroyer heavily. But this time they're Spiritling, so it's understandable.
Yeah, Spiritling is doing a good job here in this late game. When there's not enough Destroyers, and you don't want to go Destroyers because they're bad in the late game, this spell is certainly really good. With Mana Potion still on Ice Orc, going for another Stomp, forcing the TP out. The Dark Ranger in trouble. And Burrow in time, but the Dark Ranger dies to the backstab. And Ice Orc, man, good hold by him.
Yeah.
Well done.
There was a little supply lead for the Korean, but the Chinese held on. Now the Spirit Lodge is ready. Witch Doctor Adept upgrade. We saw this from Fly as well. It feels like Ice Orc is heavily influenced by what Fly played against Happy.
Yeah, I agree. Looks that way to me as well. Yeah, and the double A-bomb, like this is This is the big risk. Like, it's so hard to keep A-bombs from being eaten. They just naturally run in front, and then it's not even difficult for the Kodos to, you know, to keep safe. And it's 8 supply in the stomach. Going for more A-bombs is Lucifer. I really don't think that's the way to go. I think Fiends, Banshees, and upgrades, especially upgrades. He's got 1-0 only on the Fiends. It's not like Lumber is the issue here for Lucifer.
He feels like, okay, the Kodo Beasts, they have to be fed up by some point. They don't want to eat anymore. They just leave it be. And then my A-bombs will shine.
Or maybe he's like, my A-bombs have so much HP, maybe they're still going to be digesting next time.
Yeah. It doesn't look that way. Hawk vs. Suns is 1-1, by the way. Fast has won his game as well, so he's meeting Linguagua in the winner bracket semifinal of this group.
Does IceOrc already feel comfortable enough going for a heavier tech on the Lodge? Seems like yes. Yeah, going for Witch Doctor. He is definitely influenced by Fly, 100%.
Yeah. Whoa, that play with
Hey.
the words. Remo, not bad. So level 4 Shadowhunter, level 3 TC, all very nicely equipped with potions and consumables in general. 3 invul potions for IceOrc. He's really afraid of that nuke, and in game 1 you can definitely see why. A lot of offensive coils by Lucifer being thrown here. Kodos have empty stomachs again. Speed Scroll trying to eat something. At least, okay, he got the abominations again.
Going for the backhand of Berserkers now, but the TC with the Stomp time and again. 222 crit, and it's only level 2. That might be getting even higher later. Really good kiting, man, by IceOrc. He is pulling out the targets here once they're getting focused by this Orb of Corruption really well. Look at it again. Like, the first volley comes in and already the walkers are walking away. This is effectively decreasing the damage output of this undead army by so much so that the targets or the units left behind to ensnare are easy pickoffs. IceOrc, once again, in these super late game fights, he is doing a really, really good job.
Yeah, it's like a diesel engine that needs to warm up. And then he's doing really well. Shredder falls though. First Witch Doctor is coming in only now. Lucifer has the ghouls here. It might be easy pickups, but the Korean is down 10 supply. And the Blade Master is still a pretty big beast. The TC has a lot of mana that he can use for stuns. Shadowhunter has another heal wave as well, so he should really be safe. Lucifer trying to TP out now. Loses another Fiend on the way out, and another one. He's using these backstab last seconds also really well. We saw this here on the Dark Ranger in the fight before, and the Fiend as well. He's very good at identifying targets, I feel. And now he is occupying the middle.
Commanding position now for IceOrc. This is looking like his game. Level 3 for the Dark Ranger finally, but that's a little bit late. Also, in 2-base versus 2-base games, of course, armies are going to become really big. And here we see the big weakness of the Dark Ranger. She doesn't really have AoE. She does have silence, but the DK in trouble. No TP brought out here to him. The first hero is going to die for Lucifer. That's level 5 for the Shadow, actually, and the GG. And the 1-1 in this series.
Well done by IceOrc, man. Seriously, seeing what the issue was on Northern, adapting a little, but not switching up his playstyle completely, so he still plays what's comfortable for him.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was game.
A few macro mistakes there by Lucifer, in my opinion. A-bombs is just 2 hit or miss. And upgrades. Upgrades were so weak on the Fiends. You have to get better upgrades on 2 bases. And kind of the flex pick, the third hero, Dark Ranger. She's really good on 1 base versus 1 when the armies aren't that big and you can hit a timely silence and snowball from unit to unit, getting more and more skeletons. But if it comes to 70 versus 70 supply, Howl of Terror is much, much, much better. Yeah. And also the Pit Lord is, of course, a much better tank. So there you can see the weaknesses of that hero in that scenario.
During WCG, Lucifer was talking to you a lot and wanted you to become his coach. Maybe you should pick up on that conversation again.
I mean, we can do that, but I'm $200 an hour.
$200 an hour? It's more expensive than your mom. Come on.
It's about the same price, to be honest.
Okay, maybe I get a discount then. Which I should. Game number 3. Who's going into the winner bracket semifinal of this open qualifier Group B? Lucifer starting in yellow for Korea. and the Undead in the bottom left, Ice Orc for Lucky Future, and China in the upper right. Do we have any new results, I'm asking? Not really.
So, deciding map number 3. You know what really wonders me, surprises me?
No.
Lots of undeads, not me, are of the opinion that this is certainly a little bit Orc favored and they're afraid of the late game tier 3, big crits coming in, level 2 stomp, all that. If that is such a big issue, why is nobody playing Banshee All-In? Tier 2 Banshee All-In is actually really good, and it's so off-meta that I'm sure it would catch many Orcs by surprise.
Yeah, I think so
But
too.
no one ever plays it.
I feel like Undead, because they only have so few players in the top leagues that are not really communicating with each other, for them to adapt to a new meta, to come up with new timing slash strats, always takes a long time compared to, like, there's a lot of night elves, they exchange ideas, or everyone's copying Moon, you can do the choice here. So they are a lot faster. TH and Infi dictate the meta for human, that goes a lot faster. And Orcs now have the 3 great ones and a very influential talent squad. So they overcame their weaknesses in the 1.31 meta rather quickly as well, while Undead, this just doesn't happen for them.
Yeah, Lucifer used to be kind of the innovator. He used to be on the forefront of new discoveries. But here, so far, not that much. It's the normal Banshee play, which is certainly what you have to do. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying you should play Destroyers. Absolutely not. That's the wrong idea. But other than that, what about Necros, Neil? When are we gonna see the Necros?
Well, 1-0 played them once or twice, I guess. But yeah, I haven't seen it yet. Against Orc, if they have a purpose, it is against Orc.
Yeah.
But they have such a...
The master skill has to be changed. Like, Inside Unholy Frenzy, that is so clunky. It's so weird to play.
Yeah, you can tell the dev team at BlizzCon.
I've already told them that specific fact, like, plenty of times, but I don't believe it's much very high on their list of priorities right now.
Damn, it's a shame. It's an absolute shame. It's kind of nice that they try to make Necros better and all, and I think on Initiate that did work. But yeah, it doesn't feel...
Adept, it's okay, but Master is horrible.
Yeah, it doesn't feel too elaborated. But I mean, we've seen 2 more Necros in the past 10 years on this patch, so it's the right direction, I think.
And just you wait until Spiral plays against Happy in W League. We're gonna see more, maybe. Probably not, but maybe. Once again, both heroes here crept to level 2. Late Master was a little bit aggressive on the other side of the maps. DK is doing the same, dude. But the read from Ice Orc, holy crap. Perfect play. Finding the interference, and that essentially wastes a lot of time for this DK again, just like the second game, where he spent a lot of time running across the map. Is gonna come out empty-handed now, even.
And again, no charges on the Rod of Necromancy anymore. It's not that far as it was in Concealed Hill, but still a lot of time where just nothing happens, and the Orcs are always fine with that. The Undead, not so much. More Fiends now. Tier 2 about to be finished. You seem to be like a really big fan of Ice Orc. If I like just listen to how you describe his actions and his movement and all.
Yeah, I think considering how new he is, how fresh he is, I think he has a lot of great plays. Really promising stuff. Like also his split here across the map, he's threatening the DK a little bit with the grunt. This could have very well triggered Lucifer to be more cautious, especially without dust, and fall back. This was a good idea, and the Blade Master in the meantime could have been effective in the south. It wasn't quite that impactful, that successful. And losing the grunt here is gonna hurt. He's got a speed scroll. There we go, though. Nice. Pops it immediately after the end snare ends. Neil, are you seeing these plays?
It was like, yeah, just so good. Another wind walk. It forces 3 coils One on the creep before with the presence of the grunt. He didn't want to lose that last hit. And then 2 coils on the fiend to save it. DK down to pretty much no mana. And again, the slaughterhouse sacrificial pit play by Lucifer, while Iceorg going for the tier 3 beastery. Shadowhunter is out already. And the inventory for the Blade Master is looking good.
He's always getting something done. He's scouting, he's threatening, he's finding items. And Lucifer, for the 5th time in 2 maps, is just running across this map here this time, Last Refuge, and the last, I don't know, 2 minutes or so hasn't gotten anything done. First time we see the sacrificial skull from him, surprising. His
Yeah,
favorite
true. Yeah, Lucifer, the biggest fan in the world of sacrificial skulls. And also the only fan in the world of the dagger, I think.
Oh yeah, the dagger. I almost forgot about that.
Of the existence, or that Lucifer kind of plays it? From time
About the existence, kind of.
Okay, yeah, understand.
I don't even know when I bought it the last time. I think it has a buy rate in like a 0.5 in my games.
You know what, Remo? I buy it all the time. I buy it in pretty much every single game.
It's so good, right?
It's so good. No, it's it's the same hotkey as health potion for me.
Oh!
And because it's in the upper line, it's prioritized. So I do get some misclicks because of that.
Well, what is the hotkey?
The hotkey
Change
is,
the hotkey.
The hotkey is A.
And it's naturally A?
Yeah.
So you change the health potion hotkey.
I have queer keys.
Ah, okay. I see.
But there is a new update on war keys, so it's just my fault to not having it changed yet.
I see.
I don't blame anyone else but me.
So that's why you're not 90% win rate. I get it now.
Yeah, also, you know, sometimes my connection is a little bad and I get some spikes.
Ah, yeah.
Mana Stone, pretty awesome on the Shadowhunter, by the way. Red spot time for Lucifer. Cloak of Flames again.
Dude. Imagine a Blade Master showing up here. Backstab, crit, DK dead. Backstab, Fiend dead. But, okay, Lucifer's taking some risks over here. And not getting punished for them just yet. It is the same tier 3 Shade Rush once again. No Banshee House here this time. Crypt Lord 3rd. Hello. And the Banshee House after.
Okay.
Well. That's a change of pace. Crypt Lord. My favorite hero in the game. Absolutely amazing hero. Not really very strong though. Very fun. A very, very, very fun hero.
Yeah. Oh, the steals. Again,
oh, he gets them both!
Oh, Ice Orc.
You've got a shade here, Lucifer. What?
Seriously. He
How
had
the
Nova
hell?
as well and coils.
No.
Oh.
Are you serious? Lucifer! Are you watching, like, K-pop right now? What's happening?
Oh my god. 3 steals. And he makes it look so easy. It's absolutely Lucifer's fault.
Yes.
There was a coil. There was Nova. There was a shade. There was everything he needs to get the kills.
And that was extremely sloppy. We saw some sloppiness before by Lucifer, but that was more than 100 experience.
Yep.
That's a 200 experience shift.
Oh, and I can see the one user Killuminati already. Oh, look at the Blade Master, so imbalanced. You see this shit? 3 kills, so imbalanced.
Is he a YouTube regular?
No, it's here in Twitch chat.
Ah, okay.
He has an agenda against orcs, apparently.
And because of the last hits from earlier, now with this creep cam, Blade Master level 4, that's a massive damage increase that would not have happened without
And
the events earlier.
And this inventory, man. +5 agility, orb is ready, crit level 2. Not even a Kodo here. Yeah.
Cloak
No
of Flames, to be fair, is great on the Crypt Lord.
Yeah.
Like, if he gets to level 3, which is always the big power spike where the Crypt Lord does suddenly become really good.
Yeah.
This is amazing. Lionhorn as well. It is really good items for Lucifer also.
A player's forces are under attack.
Thank you, and Williams28 for the 6-month resub. Congrats to your new sub badge, my man. Oh, Devotion Aura, by the way. This Crypt Lord will be very tanky. You didn't see that
Oh, the
yet.
peon transfer getting intercepted. It's 2 peons taken out, and with that, Lucifer must know that there's a tiny on the way. Oops, there is. So we mask for the TC and level 2. Now he has the Stomp. 4-3-2 heroes. Isork should be feeling pretty comfortable to go for the fight here soon.
So
The shop's already gone, and the Burrow's getting taken out after. Level 2 for the Cryptlord as well. Could be a free kill here on the Headhunter. This is already a good attack by Lucifer. It's level 3 on the Lich. And Impale slowing down this Scroll of Speed. Coil coming in. TC looking for the perfect Storm. That was a nice one. Hitting all those fiends, basically. Speed Scroll is over, and now it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Isork trying to reposition, losing more of his grunts, and a beautiful Impale coming in. The second one. DK in trouble after. With the Hex coming in, this could be dangerous. There is no Dispel against it. Lucifer didn't see it coming. But he really should have. With that, the DK is dead, and Lucifer, with what was such a good attack here, suddenly everything's turning around. When you're getting stomped on the DK, you have to expect the Hex follow-up. He had the chance to TP out, but didn't. And now, without the aura, without the coil, he's going to be suffering so many more losses. Find some return kills, actually. Has to go back to the tavern. There's enough resources to go for the hero buyback. Lucifer, why are you fighting? You don't have a healer. He's got a healer. This is not going to work.
He consumed the mana stones, so there's only a little bit of hex. DK is back with the aura, but Lucifer just wants this kill. No one to this Blade Master. There's Impale. Is there a follow-up? DK is in trouble again. No shop for Isork, so it's gonna be tough. Wyvern taken out. Can he reach for another Stomp? That might be the kill again. Situation. Nothing in the Kodos here. Blade Master brave enough to enter? No. Damn, Lucifer salvaged this kind of well in the end.
In these super scrappy fights, when the armies become so small, right clicks from the Cryptlord are actually pretty good. And then the Cloak of Flames comes into play as well. So, okay, decent recovery there by Lucifer. That could have been the end of the game. Oh, but he didn't have his expansion mining for the longest time. He forgot Acolyte production. That reminds me of Foggy yesterday.
Yep. But for Isork, it's kind of the same. Starting to produce peons only now.
Oh yeah, true. Both, understandably forgetting about that. It was a very hectic fight. Alright, DK, about to hit level 4. Are we gonna see Death Pact for the first time today? Maybe? Nope.
Nope.
Or level 2 again.
Nope. Ooh, this could be a sweet backstep by Lucifer, but the creep spot not started yet. This Cryptlord was actually pretty damn good in the fight before, by the way. The timings of the Impale was almost always right before the TC wanted to use a Stomp, so everything had to be repositioned. Blade Master's getting another invul, but Lucifer is attacking this Expo now.
Oh, the Impale again. And the Cloak of Flames. This cloak is actually so good on him. But the army here isn't that big, honestly. 2 statues, 2 fiends, and 1 banshee. Lucifer, if he TP's out of this, it was actually a pretty successful strike. But he's got the bigger supply still. A lot of that is still on the way. A-bomb coming in again. Blade Master 4.5, by the way. Shadowhunter very far forward, way too far forward, but the Spirit Link is protecting him. Speed Scroll trying to run in. Speed Scroll didn't hit the Kodos though. Kodos getting impaled at the same time. Kolnova taking out the Walker right away. Isork, he was looking for the statue first, got that kill. But Berserkers, of course, die very quickly once they're exposed. Going for the next statue after Blade Master trying to look for the kill basically by himself. Level 3 now for the Cryptlord. This is where it becomes good, but is out of mana for the time being. TC going for the backline with the help of the Headhunters trying to take out the Banshees. One of them already fallen. The second one seems to survive, but the Blade Master takes out the statue. That's the regen prevented. And that's a big deal. But speaking of regen, no shop here at the York expansion. Makes it pretty hard for Isork to hold on. Coming in again. Still a 5 supply lead for Lucifer. He's backed up against the corner now, though. Crits coming out despite the curses, but we do see some misses as well. Lucifer has to go for the burrows. He's going to have to TP out of this pretty soon. Looking for some more kills. The Shadowhunter again in a bit of trouble. But again, the Spirit Link. So important. The Spirit Link over and over. Protecting these heroes to not get nuked too easily. Blade Master has to invul. And Lucifer still able to stay in this.
Yeah. With 56 supply. Isork at 50. Not mining from his expansion again. Reinforcements by Lucifer. We gotta say that there's 2 units in the Kodo stomachs. That's 7 supply. That's missing from Lucifer's army. Isork unwilling to break up here again. Has 1 Storm. And, okay, 2 heal waves. Blade Master goes in again. You don't want to attack this Crypt Lord. Just aiming for the Banshees. He's so sick and tired of the misses. Kodos might fall before the units die. Speed scroll. No save, I guess. Fiend is back. He can't get the Banshee kill. How many misses were there in the back?
A ton. An absolute ton. Walker taken out as well, so still no Spirit Link over here. The hero's still in a bit of trouble, but there's the shop now finally finished for Isork. Can he finally repel the enemy? Blade Master's coming in again, looking to take out the statue, but he's low HP. He's out of mana, he can't windwalk, but we have a heal wave coming in again, and the statue will be taken out. It's Impale versus Stomp. Who's got the better stun is the question. Still no detection. Isork! You have to send a peon to the lab or something. These fiends just being able to get way too much value out of these burrows. But now only the heroes are left basically for both sides. Not much else is actually fighting over here. This battle has been raging on for a long time. TC in trouble now. Next to his shop, needs to be careful. Lich also. Mana potion. Stomp coming in. Everything is stunned. Heal pot after. And Isork gets the kill on the Lich. Perfect execution. Trying to save the third hero now. Impale coming in. Right clicks to follow. Not even right clicks required. TC falls also. TP out after by Lucifer, saving most of his fiends. Whew. And Isork holds on just barely.
That's a pretty damn cool map we got to our hands here. We are 17 minutes in, and the past 5 were pretty action-packed thanks to the crit one. We are 7 experience away from a Blade Master level 5. Will that change a lot? He needs the spell so bad. I lost track of how many misses there were, but way too many. And backstabbed by Lucifer.
In now.
Exactly. There's nothing to get out. No speed scroll, nothing. Intelligence crystal ball. Okay, but how to get out now?
Very low mana on all sides. The DK in trouble again. Where is your death pact, my friend? But who's gonna die first? Blade Master or DK? Is Death Knight first? And then he dies. He dies to the return damage from the spike carapace. Can you believe it? But the Shadow Hunter following soon after with the Nova right clicks coming in. This is so much DPS from these fiends. And even without a DK, it seems to be working out. Isork has to try to save his forces somehow, but here comes the Impale. Further right clicks, and the Kodo dies also. Suddenly an A-bomb returns on 20 HP. But he knows the Shadow's in the corner, and the Shadow is doomed. Isork has a lot of resources. He can go for at least one buyback. Is he really gonna get the A-bomb? Seriously? LOL! It's level 5! That may actually be a problem for him.
Yeah. I was
It's
about
be more expensive now to buy him back.
And so much more experience as well. Four heroes. I haven't seen a Crypt Lord this high in forever. Shadow is back. Blade is back. TC in the Altar almost back. But that was easy 1,200 gold or so. And that's a killed expansion.
The Crypt Lord, the savior of this series, it seems.
Seriously, right?
Really cool. Like, once you get him to level 3, he's really good. But the big weak point is before that. But he survived that stage. This was actually a really good game between these two. It's not quite over yet, but it's looking very, very, very grim now for Isork.
Never count out an orc with a level 5 Blade Master and a level 3 TC and a level 5 Shadow Hunter as well. The numbers are very, very bad for Isork, of course. But the hero focus maybe. No TP on the DK. He is surrounded against the tavern, but boom! Impale of Destiny. Will it save him here? Depends on the misses. Depends on the crit. Stomp against the DK. Can he swap something? Hex comes and purges it! And the Invul is ready! Oh, how unlucky is Isork! Look at the Blade Master melt. Thanks to the Spike Carapace with level 2. Nova comes in, counters the speed scroll to a degree, resulting in no more kills. Wow.
Pretty funny that there nothing died, actually.
Yeah, how? Like, how is that possible that nothing died? What did
Very
die?
unfortunate to purge his own Hex. But
Yeah.
to be honest, Lucifer could just buy back the DK right away if he does die.
Yeah, I mean, that's resources, though. On a level 4 DK, that's a lot. Problem for Isork, his expo is down. Main gold mine is at 700. He needs to save gold for a tiny Great Hall or push for victory.
Coming in with his 44 supply, trying to get something done. One Banshee here should be an easy pick off. Blade Master, though, not revealing himself just yet. And snares should be ready.
No items on the TC. Mana potion on the Shadow Hunter. Invo potion on the Blade. What's he going for? He wants the Lich. End snare on him, but there's coils, of course. Missing the Hex a little to prevent it. And where are the misses? Where are the crits? We're waiting for it. TC is trying to run in. Switching targets to the DK, but there is Invo and TP. It's only hero focus right now for my sword.
Yeah, that's the right call. It's the only chance he has, but it's not good enough. Shadow dies. GG. And 2-1 for Lucifer.
Damn! Cool series. That was a lot of fun for a round of 32 first round match. Two pretty equal opponents facing each other. And yeah, carrying the games to 20 plus. Cool hero action. Late game fights. This is what we love about Warcraft.
Yep, that was a lot of fun. Absolutely. And in the next round now, Lucifer in the semis. Who's he going to be facing? It's going to be Mango or 14 Sway. 14 Sway was coming into this as the favorite, but Mango took the lead earlier.
Yeah, it's 1-1 between them now.
Ah,
So 14 Sway equalized this. Another result is Joshishi has won his game. Will face Sini now. And Hawk has won his game as well. Will either face Elegant or Tuned 964. We will take a little break, I think. So the admin who hosted 14 Sway's game is not in a game right now. So I guess we're gonna get the semi-final right away. We don't know the result yet, but we will figure this out and try to keep Liquipedia up to date. And then we'll be back, but not without thanking K-Man Inseln for your Prime sub. Hope your money is safe right there, my man. And yeah, check out the links in the stream description to find ways how to support us and how to follow us on our social media presences. And then we'll be right back with the second game. Stay tuned.